That's the greatest picture ever taken. Maybe of all time. It was such a high volume. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so we welcome you in, everyone, to a week 5 edition of the Russo and Goodwin Show. And we are your co-hosts here. Coach Russi over there at the scene on location.
Just like you, having some fun technical difficulties we're dealing with, but we're here.
Oh, yeah.
We are here.
Yeah, man. And we're honestly, I guess if you're cool with it, since we are starting a little bit early, we do have a little bit of time. We're gonna try to get you guys up and out of here before the Thursday night game kicks off. But we did have some stuff that we wanted to talk about. Obviously, as you can see, I am now back in my humble abode. If you did not rather join us for catching up with Coach on an episode a couple nights ago, please by all means do so. That one's certainly kind of causing up a stir. Apparently, there is a couple of SALU grads that wanted me to be a little bit more respectful as it relates to their interior defensive lineman getting a couple of sacks. I hope his big behind is in the transfer portal at some point, because I would love for him to come drive up I-12 and come take some snaps in the purple and gold. You feel me? But I will say this. It's very, very nice to be back in my own spot. Very, very nice to be out of a hotel. I was literally cooped up there for, 3 full days. But glad to be here. Glad to be with you guys today. Russo, how do we feel leaving the week 4 entering rather the week 5, episode 9? Where do we stand?
This is the week that you don't want to have a wedding on Saturday. With all the very good games we have on the slate. But yeah, I mean, this week is going to be telling. I think we've been saying that every week as far as certain teams, but I think we have a lot on the line this week given the high quality matchups we've got going on. So I'm excited, man. It's going to be fun.
There's a lot of high flying action this weekend. And to be honest with you, it's kind of like that time of the and it's and I guess some of the gamers in here will understand. Do you know, like, because it's that time right now, right? It's like a lull in the gaming market. There's really not a lot out right now. A lot of streamers aren't really putting out a lot of content. People are kind of, wrapping up their last little bit of vacation, before the end of the year, before Christmas comes. Maybe you're, a traveler to go and see your family. Dude, a lot of people are going to football games, and I'm noticing a lot of people in the social media streets are going to and traveling to football games. And so, one of the things that I think is going to be made to be very easy here soon is to be able to travel to good football games. So I guess that's going to lead us into our first topic of the afternoon. Is, brother, what are your thoughts on the listen? Briefly, you and I discussed this at so much length off camera. I think we're kind of on the same page with this, shockingly enough to the audience. Is this good, or is this good for anybody other than the fan? Or, are people going to start getting pissy that their teams, don't have, 10 and 11 win seasons? Like, is 9-3 about to become the new normal? Like, what are we doing?
Are you referring to like with the SEC changes coming up?
Scheduling model, dude.
I think it was a huge power move to basically say 9-3 is the standard to get in if you're an SEC team, if you go 9-3, or possibly less than that and somehow sneak. I don't know. Depending on how the title works, they obviously have to change the title to the title game, I personally think. But 9-3 has to be, when you're playing 9 SEC games, 9-3 has to be the standard. We're moving more towards an NFL model, and it's going to expand. So 9-3 will only be short lived. It'll probably be 8-4 once they expand one more time. So I love it. I think it's a good power move. And now the Big Ten really doesn't have. I mean, they'll find a way to suck about it and make their complaints, or their points, but they can't starting next year. So we'll see.
I mean, yeah, man. I guess with anything else, you really do have to be, and again, and it's kind of good that we're kind of letting people, filter into the show here for a second. It brings up an interesting point, right? So for myself, and shout out Sugarfoot if she's watching the show. She usually likes to tune in when I send her the link. Um, I will say, that there is a, like, for her, right? Like, she loves football. Like, she loves football. And when we get to go to the games, it's not necessarily just a pageantry, which everyone's, wives, fiancés, girlfriends, whatever the case may be. There's certainly a lot of pageantry that's involved, getting the outfit together, taking pictures, tailgating with the family, drinking, eating, and having fun. Dude, do you not get sick of going to a football game and just skull dragging a Division II school, and then everyone leaves at halftime and you go and get a box combo and go home? Like, it's so aggravating. Like, I understand that you're keeping the money in the state, but dude, she, like, for someone like her that literally just wants to be excited to go to the game, and this could be someone's mom, like this could be someone's, uncle that really doesn't like football but wants to go to like one game a year, and like that's the ticket he gets to have, right? I'll be honest, there's going to be a lot of pissed off moms and uncles here soon because no one's going to want to give up their tickets because you're about to have, 9 games of a blitzkrieg, an SEC schedule. Plus, you're going to have Clemson added, and here soon you're going to have stuff like, SMU added to the slate. And I mean, we're still waiting, years later from the Katrina get back for Arizona State to want to get our game back. So like you're entering into a world where the price of tickets, I think, for the fans are about to go up. And I also think that people are willing to pay that for the ones that are going to the games, because I can speak as a season ticket holder that I'm willing to pay that money to go and see good quality football games. And I also think that the away games are going to be a little bit more reasonable to want to go to. You don't have, one or two to choose from. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have several. So, I mean, I like it. I do think that, 9-3 and 8-4 is going to be a very commonality. It's going to be a commonality coming here soon.
Yeah. No, I was talking with a coworker / friend of mine, and he was making that same point. Like, it's gonna suck for that game being eliminated because that's the game that you can get a group of folks going together and make it work and have a good time. And now you probably can't do that as much depending on the non-conference schedule, which hopefully gets revamped. Like, I don't know why we need to play any big games at that point, because like there's no incentive to, in my opinion, because now already people are discrediting the win against Clemson. So it's like, why even put yourself through that? Personally, I think it's for the better. It's a good team. They're still a good defense. Yeah, they've had offensive struggles. Yeah, they're 1-3, but that was, at the time, that was a great win. So it's like, I think you have to put some respect on that, but no one's going to. It is what it is. We move on.
So, I mean, in the vein of moving on, I mean, we can get, kind of into one of these first couple of games. And again, I'm not really here to put socks on centipedes. I don't want to waste everybody's time, but we have to kind of call a spade with some of these games, dude. Like, some of these games, it's really difficult to say that you have to look at them in a vacuum, right? And so what I've said forever, like, and ask anybody that knows me well enough. As a matter of fact, there's a coworker of mine that, we talk about this all the time. You have to look at things in a vacuum, and you have to accept that, you're not going to get 100% of what you want out of, a sales pitch or an office visit or a team's call or, whatever the case may be. And I've said 1,000 times, I can say A, B, C, and D is not going great, but if you don't have a solution to it, then you're just complaining. And I don't have time for that. I don't have time for the complaints. So my theory with the Clemson game, because I'm bringing this all back around, is my thing with the Clemson game is that I think that there is a unbelievable amount of haterade being drunk right now. And the problem that I have is because, do you know what the narrative would be? Like, this is literally like, this is almost getting political to the point where you're so beholden for your competitor to be spoken down about that if LSU goes out and loses that game, right? And let's just say that LSU goes out and loses that game and Clemson's 2-2. Are we still talking crazy about Clemson, or are we just, or do we still need to see another game from Clemson to consider them bad? They just needed to lose a second game, and all of a sudden it was bah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like Georgia Tech's not good, LSU's not
Mm-hmm.
good, and what my point is, they might be right, like they might be, but they might be right. But when you look at games in a vacuum, you don't get to play hindsight being 2020. You know, for what I mean. Clemson loses game 1, game 2, wins game 3, loses game 4, right? And if it goes in that order, if that's the order that it went on, whatever. But you're judging Clemson based on game 5. They don't have their full starting offensive line, and they've got a receiver hurt and a DB hurt. So is Clemson, and I'm just using them as the punching bag because we played them. Is Clemson going to be judged based on what they are today, like the playoff did whenever, Florida State didn't get into the playoff and you judged Bama? Or do you judge the body of work throughout the season? Because I specifically remember a whole lot of people that complained to high heaven about Florida State not getting into the college football playoff after literally winning every game that they played. And you and I made money when Bama ended up getting in over them because it had a stipulation that said if an injury occurred, then you had to be judged based on who you are today and how you will play moving forward. And a season-ending injury, was apparent to that. You can't apply that kind of logic, okay, to a football team that plays other good teams. Now, if we get to game 9 or game 10 in the season and Clemson's 2-5 and 2-6 or whatever the case may be, okay, well then we should probably have the discussion that, maybe LSU should have ran away with that, but didn't they? Like outside of a fumble and a touchdown taken away and a reception on the 1 yard line that you end up getting no points out of, like, didn't you though? Like you also gave them the ball on their side of the 30. So like what I'm trying to say is it's very funny how these things make sense when you want them to make sense for your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone from Ole Miss is going to go, oh, well, dude, Florida's bad. Well, then you go to the swamp and play them. Or you have Florida come to your crib because you know who else was bad last year? Kentucky. And they beat your ass. And me and you didn't see that coming. Hell, we thought Ole Miss was going to the playoff. I'm pretty sure we took preseason odds at them to go to the playoff, and it was either them. I don't think we took LSU, but I think we took them. But I'm just saying, let these things play out. Like everyone wants to say that I could see it coming. They had this opinion so quick. So at the end of the season, they can go, well, I knew that since week 4. No, you didn't. Shut up. Shut the hell up. You work so hard to have an idea, and then all of a sudden somebody says that a team sucks. They end up losing 3 games. Like, oh well, see, told you. Oh, did you, Crystal? Did you tell me? Okay.
Like Tyler Fox, thoughts on the uniforms this past week?
Can we spend like 2 minutes on this, please? Can you go first though?
I mean, I didn't like it. I think the white helmets are clean. I think we should have went, if you're going to go with that combo, you include the white helmets, right?
There was a stipulation in that. Let's see here.
Because like the traditional purple yellow combo is like,
okay, they wore white though. So Southeastern wore the white. So Southeastern wore the white helmets.
Oh, okay.
So they you know what I'm saying?
I miss because like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer than that, the traditional that game was patented purple jerseys game. Like yellow helmet, yellow pants, purple jersey. Like that's just you always have one of those, maybe 2 a season. I enjoy them trying to be like an Oregon and mixing up stuff, but like it is what it is. I don't know. I'm not like I wasn't a huge fan of it, but like I'm not making a big deal about it either.
I didn't love it. When the game started, I said that I didn't love it. I think that you have one of the most beautiful uniforms in all of college football. I think Ole Miss has got some. I think UCLA's got some. I think, unfortunately enough, I do think that I think Ohio State's uniforms are pretty classic. I just think that you need to stick to what you're good at. However, I will say that looking back on it, you don't really have a good purple helmet. So you couldn't really do purple, white, white, or a purple, white, purple situation. If you would have gone all white, that would have been cool. But then again, you could not because, they did it. So at that point, then you go gold, purple, gold. And I think that looks worse compared to gold, white, white. I think the gold, white, white was better than the gold, purple, gold because I'm not really beholden to how we do the gold, purple, gold. And I wish that you would go white, purple, white when you went purple because that does look much better to me. And if you were to go with a purple helmet look, then you need it to be like a different shade of the purple than what you do for a purple helmet like we've seen in the past, like the Leonard Fournette purple game with the weird, I'm talking about that weird. No, like that didn't look great. So the Jaden Daniels, the white, purple, white, or the Jamar Chase when they went to Vanderbilt in 2019, the white, purple, white looks clean. The all white's clean, and gold, white, gold is absolutely flawless and beautiful in every direction and way. That's my thoughts. Call me a traditionalist. LSU would have to pay me very little money for us to fix this problem. I'm an alumni there. I care about my school. I like the way that we look. They could hire me for very little as a part-time job to help them design uniforms, and I would do it for very little money happily. Hit me up. DMs are open.
I just want to get to a point that has been made, but and let's just get into the LSU Ole Miss. Can you hear me?
I can, but I'm about to grab my charger. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. I was just making sure we were good. I'm just gonna talk like the LSU narrative is the offense is horrible. This is kind of like last year's game where Ole Miss's defense was really good and their offense was sus and blah blah blah. And people have been using the narrative that LSU hasn't played anyone, especially coming from Ole Miss fans. I think the line is disrespectful. I think we just start with the line. I think the line is disrespectful. Personally, I think if we're gonna start with strength of schedule. I think if Ole Miss fans are telling us that we haven't played anyone, well, you've played Kentucky, you've played Arkansas and Tulane. And congrats. The Tulane win was impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Like that was the fashion they did that was pretty impressive. I'll give you that win, but don't come at me and saying y'all have played more people than LSU when you've played teams
They
of
know that's
Arkansas
not
and
true.
Kentucky. They know that's not true because you're playing teams that are in the bottom 3 and 4 in SEC defense. You haven't played a good defense yet. So like miss me with that, first of all. And I would argue that LSU has played two defenses in the top 20. I think Florida's defense is way underrated. They're sick. Clemson's defense, for what it's worth, isn't really the issue on that team, to be fair. I think it's their lack of offense. And give it, LSU has had struggles on offense. I get it. But it's not because of a lack of skill. It's certainly not because of that. I think this could be a huge game for the offense. I think the defense, though, in my opinion, is so good that I was against Brian Kelly for his motive on this, which was we stay in the game, we play to win the game. I was mad in the moment because it was like, dang, man, like we're not gonna win. But like now thinking about it, I'm kind of behind it. I think this defense can keep you in games, and you have to do just enough. And I think a lot of people are underestimating that this defense is going to give this new dude problems at quarterback. It's official that he's the starting quarterback now, right? Has that been officially announced?
Yeah, and he's
Trinidad,
and he's and he's better.
which I mean, like, cool. Like, I know Josh Pate had made the comment that it doesn't matter which quarterback plays LSU's. The line's not close. His model had Ole Miss -4. I mean, that's crazy to me. Like, I just don't know what if you're going to use wins against Kentucky and Arkansas, both one possession games, both are bottom 3 or 4 in the SEC. I don't know. I think it's crazy.
I
think
find
LSU
it.
should be a favorite. I think it should be the other way. It's close. It's a pick 'em, but like LSU money line all the way. And that's not a homer pick. I'm pessimistic against. If there's anyone that's an LSU fan, that's like not. It's more real. Like I'm not gonna blindly take them. It's me, and I just think this is a perfect spot for a prove it spot for this team. You win this game, you're likely in the playoffs, unless you just absolutely the wheels fall off. I don't know. I think this is a great spot if you're a better, regardless of whether you're an LSU fan. LSU money line's a great play, 100%.
My considerable thoughts on either way with the quarterback is what do you want to see from this LSU defense or from this from this LSU offense? Like, what makes you feel like the money line is a play? What are you looking at that's making you feel like that?
I think it's the lack of running the ball. I mean, the offense as a whole, right? I think the offense as a whole, but the lack of running the ball against a team that is currently last in rush yards allowed per game in the SEC. That's the collision point to me. The running the ball goes such a long way for the LSU offense because I think that just opens up the offense for Garrett. I think you saw a little bit of success with that against Clemson in the second half, and it just made life so much easier. I think that's why. I mean, I think obviously the home field advantage is going to sway you 6 points from home versus home and 3 points from a neutral. But I think it's the lack of rushing offense. And I think the Clemson struggles have a lot to do with the line. I think if Clemson was 3-1 or 4-0, this would be a different line. But LSU money line. I mean, like and like I said, I'm not like it's not a homer pick. It's not like if I wasn't a fan, I'd be thinking the same thing. That defense is sick, dude. And look, you can look good against Arkansas and Kentucky, but if you do it against LSU in your second game, kudos to you, man. Like honestly, like if that's how they're gonna beat a good defense, and he comes out, he's the real deal. Because I mean, this defense is no joke.
So for those in the chat that don't quite know how the betting lines work, obviously a point total is a point total assumption of how many points will be scored in the game. Correct. So if LSU Ole Miss score prediction is supposed to be 21-24, then the total number would be.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
21-24.
So 45.5 or 44.5.
So you're at that point, the half point is your cheese to bet under or over what you think the score will be. So you go off the points, what you assume that the score will be. And the betting line is, in essence, in college football, you'll get roughly a field goal more-ish than you would in like the Sunday game. It's very close. But if, for example, if LSU were to be favored going on the road to Alabama, it would need to be basically like a 2.5 or 3 game difference before LSU was favored there, right? So it would have to be like Alabama is, 6-3, and LSU would have to be 9-0 before LSU was, favored on the road at Alabama in the college game, because there is a lot of home field advantage baked in. So LSU to 1.5, they're just assuming that they're going to win by more than one. So for those of you that did not know that, I've gotten a few texts here in the past about explaining like the betting odds. I've got like a few friends, people that don't really involve themselves in the betting market, a little bit of the seasoned adult variety that don't really do a whole lot of the sports betting. So it may be easy to us, but harder for them. My thing is I need to see LSU attack the middle of the field. It's minute 25, keys to victory. Okay. You have to attack the middle of the field. And if there's one person in that defense that you're attacking, it's the safety that left your team and went to play for theirs. His name is Sage Ryan. We talked about this in my show on Tuesday night. I would put Aaron Anderson in the slot, and I would make Sage come down and guard him in whatever facet, zone, man to man, uh, uh, father son, or Sadie Hawkins dance. I need them to be up and close with each other, and I need Aaron Anderson to run everything across the middle. Quite possibly, I need Aaron Anderson to run out of the gas tank and then refill up at a Circle K and then come back and run another route across the field. I need
Hawkins dance, dude.
Bro, you went to Sadie Hawkins, dude. You're not too cool. Yeah. Don't think I don't know. Little button down, no jacket with a red tie tied too short. Come on now.
Leave room for Jesus.
Yeah, that's right, baby. Look, listen. And the only the only thing that we need to see is everything being attacked over the middle. And if Trey'Dez Green's playing, I need to see that big ass man run his behind across the middle of the field and receive the football and run for a long time quickly. I need to see you lure them in by establishing the run on a leaky, weak run defense. It is the worst run defense in the Southeastern Conference. Funnily enough, I think you're probably the worst rushing offense in the Southeastern Conference.
Bottom three. What? Not to interrupt you. What's the status on both Trey'Dez and Caden?
Trey'Dez is looked at probable. Caden is questionable at this time, as of the press conference an hour and a half ago.
What is he dealing
with?
An
ankle. Okay. An ankle.
So who starts? Is
Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson. And if there is an offshore account that offers rushing yards on Xavion Thomas,
I don't think you're gonna get that. I can go give you while you talk about your points. Still,
Xavion Thomas is going to get some run here, fellas. I think you're also going to see Harlem Berry. I think you're even going to see some Caleb Jackson. I think you're going to see the kitchen sink if Caden Durham can't go. It is what it is. And I mean, I need LSU offensive linemen to get a hold of someone's jersey and somebody's armpits, and I need you to move some folks. I need Ole Miss defensive linemen to get to the sideline and apply salve to their armpits because they have chafed pits, because I need you to drive them back. I am so sick and tired of hearing after every single post game. First question, coach, I can't run the ball. It's like Chris Hilton can be in the game and finally catch a deep ball for 65 yards. I promise you, the first question of the press conference. So, coach, how's the offensive line looking? And can we run the ball? It's like dude. And you know that BK, you know how sometimes because they'll put they'll put like the Coke and like the water like right here on the podium, and he'll always grab that Dasani no matter what. He's grabbing the Dasani and he's going to take that little drink. And when he hears a question he doesn't like, he starts to drink to calm himself down before he gets pissed off. And every time he grabs that water bottle, I'm like, he wants to dog cuss somebody, but he's got a job. Like it's so annoying, man. He's obviously a better Christian than me, because I'd be dog cussing people. Like, we know we're working on it. Like we're trying, man. We're trying. So, are they going to make a move at tackle? I don't know. It seems as like they don't want to right now. I do think you need to attack the middle of the field, rely on your cornerbacks, and I also think that you need to use your weapon, and that's Trey'Dez Green when you get into the blue zone and the red zone.
Plus 210 for a touchdown.
On who?
Trey'Dez.
What about Xavion?
So what I found interesting while I pull up his number, because it went away for some reason. Harlem Berry. So Caden is assumed to be playing according to this offshore account, because he's a minus 143 touchdown favorite. Harlem Berry is minus 143. So you know what that means. Juwan Johnson's plus 179 for any time. Xavion's plus 160. No rushing for him.
So
I just don't think you'll see that.
I have a slight request. I feel like this is like the Diet Sprite, Travis Kelce, T Swift situation.
Oh, yeah.
I have a small request for me to bring up Whit Weeks and Landry Kiffin. Can we just say that it's funny and move on?
That made them our thumbnail, dude.
It's pretty funny.
Do you think Lane planted? No, that would be that's
Dude,
that.
no, she's dated football players before, I'm sure.
Shout out Connor Dilly, man. How you doing? Let's go. Yeah, I mean 100%.
What a
I just
goated
thought
last name.
it's the it's the meme of the week.
It is a meme of the week, and it's funny, dude. It's good for the game.
Final thoughts. What do you think? Well, give me a prediction. Score prediction.
Do I have to?
Oh yeah. You're not giving me no half-ass answer on here. You're giving me you're giving it to me with no pause.
What about like a 24-20, 28-24 type of game? Either way.
I don't want to hear either way. Who's winning?
I think the good guys win.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. I think that the good guys should win, but if they go in there and turn the ball over, then I would not be shocked to see that you have a hard time, catching up and playing from behind. And I do think that you're going to have to be comfortable with seeing this LSU defense give up points, man. And I'll tell you something else that I said on my Tuesday show. You can agree with this and run with it really quick. I mentioned that Lane wanted to go fast. Is LSU not deeper pause than Ole Miss?
LSU's deeper.
So if they're going to go fast, we've got subs.
Their argument is they have like 5 receivers with like over 150 yards.
Yeah, they ran.
I'm just telling you that's the
well. Yeah. Okay. Well, they played against Arkansas's defense, who is statistically worse than the 2023 LSU defense.
They've scored 70 points against 2 bad SEC defenses. I mean, like I don't care. I don't care.
Mic drop. At this point in the season, Arkansas's defense is worse than the 2023 LSU's defense game for game. Just saying. So far, not saying they end that way, but I'm just saying.
I've got LSU, and like you said, you're going to be used to Ole Miss or this LSU defense getting points scored on. You need to get also used to LSU scoring points. Give me 31-21.
Dude, I would
be down.
I would drink violently.
I'm telling you, man. Game. I see this going a little bit like the Clemson game.
Okay.
Except for the first half's not as dominant by Clemson. And I just think LSU pulls away. I think they do get the run game going. I think it's going to be a big middle finger from Brian Kelly on run. I think I don't know who's calling the plays, right? Like there was some talk about who was calling the plays last week, possibly, or they saw Brian Kelly with a play sheet. Someone said that. I don't know if I heard that from the tea leaves or not. He is going to want to run the damn ball. I'm telling you. There might be a situation where he starts off every possession with 2 runs, the first 2 or 3 drives. Ooh. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Guys, this is a really good time to bring this up. If any of you do go and put some money on some of the things that Russo and I were just talking about, now might be a good time to mention our friends over at Web Western. Guys, our friends over at Web Western are a big staple to what we do in the show, and it seems as though right now, they are actually bringing in. I was trying to bring the entire thing up, but I guess I can't. Just wanted to make sure we could. There we go. There we go. You got me?
Yeah.
So our friends over at Web Western, a straight shooting program they run over there. The Forest Camo is back. And I'm letting you know now that when this show ends, I will be purchasing one of these bad boys. The Forest Camo is back. And for those of you that are not familiar with our friends over at Web Western, If you guys are interested, shoot me a little DM and I will get you a little discount code on here. These hats
It's
are
not
absolutely
showing up.
awesome.
Is it showing up for you?
What's that?
The screen share?
Is it not?
It's not for me. Hold on. I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe my connection. There you go. All right. It's on.
You got it? Yeah. So the forest camo is back. The forest camo is actually one that they went out of stock for a while. And I just wanted to show you guys just a couple of things that we've got over here. Not only the forest camo, but they also have the snow camo, the new workhorse, the rusty spur. We've got a lot of options over here, guys. These hats are freaking sick. If you guys are working outside, if you guys are working on the ranch, if you guys are working outside and you just need something to get done around the house and just kind of sweat in a little bit, but still look stylish. If you want to wear it out with your family, with your old lady going to dinner, a little stylish hat, get you some jeans that start with a W and some square toes and get out there and get active. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time to be a straight shooter, and we're certainly excited to have a little bit of affiliation with them. So if you guys are interested in that, shoot me over a DM. We'll get you a discount code on there. And when we get to 100 subscribers, we are going to do a giveaway. I think I mentioned that on the Tuesday show. We're going to do a giveaway for 100 subscribers. We're currently at 60. Been sitting there for a second. Like and share. The TikTok is starting to pop a little bit, so give us a little like and share. Set the notification bell. If you've got an uncle, an aunt, a grandma, a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, anybody interested in hearing about the college game, man, shout us out. Give us some love. We want to have this giveaway. That's like a $50
100%.
hat for a giveaway. Like
100%.
I want to see Caleb Jackson truck another guy. So do I, by the way.
I was going to say, you remember a couple years ago, I was just pouring down some drinks at the Londoner, and I was like, John Emery is going to have the first touchdown, 2 touchdowns, and just an immaculate game. And he was like the third string. I think we could see a game like that from Caleb Jackson where he scores.
Offensive line first. Has to hold up, man. They have to.
Look, I know Juwan's going to be your rough rider, but to me, it's got to be Caleb.
Okay.
It's just whoever wants to step up. To be fair, I mean, we'll take anyone that wants to actually step up and grind. To be fair, no pause. To be fair, I think a lot of people. How do I say this? A lot of people are like, why? I miss the days when we had Leonard Fournette. I miss the days when we had good running backs. I'm like, do you miss the days when we had quarterbacks play with Brandon Harris and Jordan Jefferson and Jarrett Lee? Let's appreciate the quarterback play we have right now too. You can't get everyone. You can't get it all to scoop up together. And 2019 is once in a lifetime. But I don't know.
Are we going to see Coe and Eccles start Saturday for the first half? Shout out, by the way. I know you remember them. Shout out to my boy Dylan over at Small Craft US. Guys, if you are interested in the whiskey or bourbon game at all, give my boy's YouTube channel a shout. Definitely knows what he's talking about, and actually took me on we actually went on a trip together this past January up to Kentucky and Tennessee, and had a really awesome time looking at some different breweries and whatnot, kind of understanding the distillery game rather. Really awesome trip, super knowledgeable fella, and a huge fan of the show. But to relate to his question, are we going to see Coe and Eccles start on Saturday for the first half? I think the answer is no. I think they're very comfortable with Paul Mabenga. I think that Eccles will get some run, maybe for a drive or two when they think that Paul maybe needs a break. But from what I've seen with the plays that they ran and what they ran when he was in, I think Paul was the answer there. Anthony Jennings did beat number 3 Ole Miss back in Baton Rouge. That is true. I was at that football game. It is a great pull.
Look. All I'm saying is the last 3 quarterbacks we have, let's appreciate that for a second. Because I think that goes on, it gets overlooked. I know, yeah. And I'm one of them. I was very critical of Nuss last year, but then, you take a step back and you're like, okay, let's be humble here. 2019, like I said, just the last 3 quarterbacks we've had, fantastic. And look, Anthony Jennings, whatever, good on him. He did beat number 3 Ole Miss. I remember that. And Jerry Lee was the honorary captain at the at the last game, I'm pretty sure. So shout out to everywhere, dude. But anyways, that enough about LSU. Let's put a quick little recap of maybe give me two of the marquee matchups you like this weekend and who's gonna win. I'll let you pick the first two, and then I'll give you my two, and then we'll bow tie the show.
I mean, honestly, I like Georgia. I like Georgia in the points, and there's a part of me that wants to take Oregon, but I think Penn State can finally get it done. And I think Notre Dame takes. I think Notre Dame beats Arkansas by more than what we think.
James Franklin needs to win this game. With just like Brian Kelly needed to win the first game, he 100% needs to win this game. I'm with you on that. Georgia money line is an anchor you should parlay to any of your plays. And these are some juicy money lines this weekend. I think Notre Dame money line against Arkansas. I think Ohio State money line against Washington, even though I could see a possible upset alert there. So maybe stay away from that. But then like A&M money line, Tennessee money line, Georgia money line. There's a lot of good spots this weekend if you're like a parlayer and want some good value. TCU is my dog of the weekend for sure. Plus 3.5 on the road Friday night at Arizona State. I think TCU's sick.
I'm looking at all my ones. I'll be honest with you. I don't hate UW in the points. I don't.
Now that I've thought about it, yeah.
I don't hate UW in the points. I'm not saying I'm ready to lay it, but I don't hate it.
We're really going to see what happens, what they're made of. Man, I really do hope if James Franklin doesn't win it. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's like, when's enough going to be enough? I think this is the year. We've seen some teams break the mold. I think this is the year. And this is the team. Like, this isn't like this Oregon team's good, but this is like the perfect time to catch them, I think. Earlier on the front half of the schedule rather than later. At home, I mean, there's just no excuse to me, and in my opinion. They have to win that game.
I mean, the best thing that could ever happen to Notre Dame is that USC all of a sudden is starting to look good, because USC being their only other game ranked on the schedule is going to help them out. But if USC goes in there and beats them, then I mean, you're absolutely hosed. There's nothing left for you. Like you're already at the point where you're kind of hoping and praying that, you know, people start cannibalizing themselves if you're a Notre Dame fan. But USC is gonna cause a stir. But I just don't mind UW in the points. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
that's a rowdy environment for a young fellow to go walk into at their crib, man. That's something. Also, too, how about State being 4-0? Big Mississippi State guys over here, brother.
Oh, look, I said they were going to win their total because that Arizona State game was huge.
The pivot.
Yeah,
it was the pivot.
Look, they're not bad, but that's just the depth of the SEC, man. Like they're a team you'd like to see if you're a powerhouse SEC team, but if you're any other team, and you know what I'm saying, like I think it's not an easy day in the office for sure, but we'll see. And then Virginia, Florida State, tricky game for Florida State. Let's see what they're made of. Bama, Georgia thoughts.
Georgia in the points.
I think Georgia gets their lick back, man.
Me too.
And I'm not going to use the line because I would be hypocritical if I said, you know, oh, wow, the Florida State performance, you know, Florida State's look really good. Alabama laid an egg. I would be hypocritical if I leaned on that. But I just think if you take the strength of schedule and the performances of the whole season, I just think Georgia's got the edge by a decent bit here. And the revenge angle, I think it's a touchdown game. I just don't think Bama can score with them, and I don't think Tennessee's a top-tier offense, and they went.
Yeah.
I don't think Georgia goes that route again with a team like Bama. I think they go back to old Georgia, grind you out, just hit you with the play action. No pause. Yeah, hit you with the play action, and then I think they win by a touchdown or more. But money line, lots of good money line. And if you're a big LSU fan, dangerous week. But the good thing is it's 2:30, so you can like remake your parlays after those games.
I'm also kind of aggravated because I've got some work to do at my deer lease this weekend, and I really do not want to go and spend my morning at that deer lease. I want to go and watch college football the entire day, and then the Ryder Cup too. Did Vandy retain a bunch of guys from last year in the same QB? Yeah, they did. Diego Pavia is 42 years old at this point. And he, and I believe he's gonna ride that out. He's gonna be a TA at some point, and he's gonna still be playing. But they did retain a lot, and they're gonna easily have the over on their wins because I pull for them every year to have the wins. But LSU takes a road trip over there. We'll check Google. He could be 43. I don't know.
Man, Vanderbilt is going to be scary.
I know.
I'm not.
It's gonna be fun, dude. Come on.
I'm not looking forward to that matchup.
Just go to the Luke Bryan bar, then go to the football game. It's a lit afternoon. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, hopefully we see you on a Catching Up with Coach episode on Tuesday with happy faces and good vibes, for sure.
That's what we want. Tigers. That's what we need.
Check the Twitter. I'm gonna have some parlays cooked for you guys, and man, just everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all all next week.
Sit back and enjoy.